out from here this time. All right. This broadcast is inappropriate for all ages. Right here on the house that Kamurai built. I am realizing that I left things on YouTube. There we go. That's wrong. That's so wrong. There we go. YouTube's fixed. Where it's all do-it-yourself. This is the Vlogcast. And I am Kamurai! Welcome back. This is an exciting new location. I've scared off the cats by yelling a bunch, but they'll be fine. The hope was that Pig would be taking a nap back there and he would be cute. But apparently he is done taking his nap, came over for attention, and then got a bunch of noise. So I am the functionally insane Kamurai. I've always liked this shirt. But again, exciting new location. I am no longer homeless. I have a home. The past 2 months have been incredible. I don't want to pretend like it's the hardest thing that was ever done. I'm not going to say it's even the hardest period of my life, but it was difficult, and it all stemmed from a point of wanting that change, being like, fuck this, I don't want this anymore. And not even knowing 100% what I do want, knowing 100% that what I'm doing is not what I want to be doing or where I want to be or anything of the sort. It's time to change. If none of this is what I want, let's get rid of it and move forward. That involved a lot of soul searching over the past year. That involved so much nonsense about what is life and how to adult and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Here I am at 32. But I could go back to Atlanta. Don't really want to. I was trying to get away from there for far too long, not taking any of the opportunities that I had. And honestly, like, I wanted to get out of the Southeast. I wanted to go back to the Midwest for some time. And I just never did it. And I don't know why, I just never did it. And I've made enough stupid mistakes when I look back at my life. I'm like, well, should have done not done that, not done that, not done that. If I had to go back at all, I would have gone back into the military when I was young and able. And then I would have got out and gone to college. And if I was really smart, I would have listened to one of my ex's fathers and gone into like the FBI. But like barring that, I should have gone back into like technical school for video games or something. And what can I say? What can I say? I can't. You can't go back and change the past. All you can do is evaluate the past, combine it with the present, and move forward. You're not going to have all the answers, but you're going to have enough that you can make an educated guess at how to move forward. But I'm in Austin, Texas now. This is a place where a lot of things are happening. And I don't drink. I'm not a party guy, but there's plenty of that here. It is a college town ultimately, but there's enough tech innovation going on here. I got Instacart today. I ordered stuff to make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, which I'll probably do here in a minute. Just because I was like, I need cheap food. And I wanted a Brita thing, and they happened to sell it. So I got it. I never had to deal with the person. I got to leave it at the door. They texted me to make sure, and I was like, yeah, fine, that's great. I love that. I love it. As much as I liked going down to H-E-B, that's fine. It's a good grocery store. I'd much rather have it delivered. There's a charge for delivery, which I was happy to pay this time. I was dealing with internet installation. I have fiber now. I have fiber. Like true fiber. I had fiber in Gainesville, but I had like auxiliary fiber or something because it was off of the campus network, and it was not like this. AT&T Gigapower. If you have that available and you don't have access to Google Fiber, it is totally worth it. I think I'm at $70 a month for Gigapower. Went to speedtest.net. the thing was just in the red the whole time. You couldn't keep up with it. It almost looked broken. And that's a gigabyte up and a gigabyte down. I should have said it the other way for emphasis, but that's the point, is that it's strong enough to do this. I am back doing multi-stream. I am actually on YouTube, Ustream, Firetalk, and YouNow right now, and I am not paying attention to the chat. I wish I could clear the chat. A bunch of crap from when Ross Everett stumbled into my room. I'm really hoping he was drunk. In my head, it makes it a funnier image. But so I'm going to be back doing this. We're in week 6, so the year 2016 is going to start in week 6. There is no week 1 through 5. And that leads me back to what I was talking about. The way this happened is I left my job in November. I walked out of a paying job at the end of November around Thanksgiving, and because I couldn't take it anymore. I'm not saying I was ungrateful for the opportunity, but I was a little bit, if I'm being honest. I didn't want that. I didn't like dealing with those people. I didn't like what I was doing. I wanted to program and not just troubleshoot things that I didn't really understand. I want to get back to Java. I want to get back to doing video games. There's all these things I want to do, but I don't know how to make any of them pay for me yet. So I've got to keep doing regular work and then keep trying to do these things on the side. There are board games that I want to get published, and the date keeps getting pushed back. I think originally I wanted to launch this summer, and I think the current... Oh, what in the world? Okay, we're not going to answer this right now. The current thing is that we're going to maybe I can launch by Christmas. But I've got a suite of board games that I want to get out. It's doable. It's possible. I've just got to go low. I'm going to have to set up an e-commerce site eventually, and I'll be able to get it out eventually. But it's all doable. The hardest part is the art. If I get the art handled, which I'm just going to go to Fiverr. I can't afford to go with fancy artists. The one I had, unfortunately, did not work out. We got a couple sets done, and so if I can get the other ones done, we'll evaluate how comparable the art is, and then we'll move forward. And maybe it'll just be those have some art discrepancy. I don't know. But if I can keep working with the one artist consistently through Fiverr, maybe that'll be the way to go. Okay. So I keep trying to talk about it, and I lead myself away from it because honestly, it's so boring. I just want to forget about it. But I left my job there in November, and I went to stay with a friend. They're amazing people. Thank you so much, guys, for letting me stay with you. I ended up crashing in their basement, me and the kiddies, and I set up my tech along one wall, and it kept blowing the fuse, so I had to rearrange some things. But I built some computers for them because they wouldn't let me pay rent. So I fixed and made up some computers for them. I was trying to improve their tech lives a little bit there. I ended up having Minecraft and Cube World parties with the kids. So we ended up having like 1, 2, 3. We set up another station across the room. We had my 2 game-capable computers. Cube World doesn't really run well on the laptop, so we had the Surface going, and we set up another desktop in between mine. This is Tux. He's still fluffy and a monster. So we just had we had a good time playing around there, me and the kids, and the kids are great. They actually all tried to help me move in and move out. I left a lot of my stuff behind there when I finally moved away. But what happened, and I can't thank them enough for this, is I left the cats with them, and I took a bus to Austin, and I just lived around. I ended up renting a car. I had originally planned to live on foot and Uber and Lyft places because I knew that could be comparably affordable. But it didn't occur to me that the rental prices would actually be comparable, and I wouldn't have to worry about staying in a hostel or anything like that, because in bigger cities there are places where you can sleep in your car. Apparently, Austin and Round Rock are very active against this. Criminal, I guess. I don't know. I had one run-in with a cop, and he was really nice, and he let me go because I was literally less than a mile from where I was working at the time. And it was just temporary trying to get to this place, and I couldn't get to this place fast enough. So I just lived. I didn't have a place. I borrowed an address, and hopefully that doesn't come back to bite me in the butt too hard. But I did what I had to do. I'm here. I have a contract position for the moment. It'll buy me enough time to get a permanent job or another contract position. Jeez. And I've got Uber and Lyft, which I'm experimenting with. I've done 2 rides. It was like a $16 fare and like a $4 fare. I don't know. Like, I'm trying to figure out how you live off that, and I think it comes down to just timing it correctly, because it's competitive. It's a competitive business. I'm just gonna keep doing a couple rides a day when I'm getting off work. Because when I'm going in, it's not the time to do it. It's gonna be too early, and I'm on my way somewhere. So when I'm off work and I have some time, that's when I need to be doing it. And then the big plan is to do it like Friday nights, Saturday mornings, and so I probably will have a flip in the schedule. So I'll probably, depending on what I'm doing, work like Friday night, Saturday morning, or whatever. I'll just get up early on Saturdays to keep my routine and try out that. I'm hoping that I can catch people trying to Uber to church, and definitely drunkies leaving 6th Street on Friday and Saturday. So depending upon how Friday stream schedules go, I will probably leave the stream to go do that. Because I just need to be better enough. Moving is so damn expensive, and Austin is not a cheap place to get started, especially if you had my requirements. I needed a house. I needed a house that had fiber. We literally had like 5 places, and then 2 of them were shit, and then like 2 other ones got taken away. There's a 6th one, but like the owners like lived in the backyard. It was really weird. So it was like, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing, because I think part of the agreement was that I couldn't use the driveway. It's like, no. I got 2 cars I'm dealing with because I still have the Leaf, which still maintain. I got screwed over on that loan. But I like the Leaf. I'd rather drive the Leaf. I actually really need to get it cleaned. It's been sitting, and it smells awful like a cat right now, because that's where the kitties were when I brought them over. They were in the Leaf and towed behind the truck, so it smells like cat a little bit. Hopefully that won't be too bad a thing. So there's that. The other car is it was a used car, but I got it through Uber. If I'd known this was possible, Jesus, let me put this out there. $250, you can get in an Uber approved car, get signed on with Uber, and start driving. If you need a car that badly and you need a car to do ride sharing, that's how you do it. Go through exchange leasing and do it. But my suggestion would be, don't wait on them to do it. If you're doing it full time, it won't matter so much, because they take the lease weekly out of your earnings. But if you're like me and you have a day job and you're doing part time, your earnings may not meet the due. It's like only $85 a week, but it's quite frankly, like it's just easier for me to make a bi-weekly or monthly payment, and I think they wanted it bi-weekly. And the only way that it doesn't cost you to pay the thing, which is fucking ridiculous. If you want your money, don't charge me more to get it. Make it as convenient as possible. Get an online thing so I can manage my information for you. Don't hide everything behind shitty telephone people. Oh, it's so, like, they're a pain in the ass to deal with. But I've got like bill pay or whatever on my bank account, so I'm just gonna use that. So every 2 weeks, every month or whatever, I'm just gonna send whatever it is to them in that way. And it probably won't get there till I'm overdue for the second week. But you know what? They're just gonna have to deal with it. And they'll have their money by the time they call and bother me about it. And then that's probably when I'll send out the next check. So it's just for right now, whenever I get paid, I'm just gonna have to keep that in mind. Like, what checks do I have to send off? Because I gotta make sure I send off my rent, the right checking account. Oh, that was a fun mistake. The checkbook that I have, I didn't fucking know. I didn't pay attention to the numbers at the bottom. For whatever reason, was out of my main account. I never pay my bills out of it, so I had the money sitting for it in a separate account that's linked. Like, if they tried to pull from the one account, there wasn't enough money there, it would have drawn it from the other. But the point was, is like, oh, I really need to not have this problem, and so I need to remind the landlord to like pull the money. Because I hate that it's not saved. Checks are the worst thing ever. The thing that's good about like bill pay or whatever is that it deducts it from your account and puts that money on hold until the check's cashed. So if the check is canceled, then you get the money back into your account. But if the check is just out there and active, then the money's not in your account, so you don't have to worry about balancing your check. Balancing your checkbook is one of the most worthless and stupid endeavors you could ever possibly do. Don't pay by check. Don't pay by check. Pay by credit card if you have to. Pay by debit card. If you feel like being sick, and pay by cash. But like, I don't like that because there's no record of it. At least if you're paying by card, then there's an electronic record of it. And if you don't want an electronic record of it, you probably shouldn't be getting it. Just saying. So there's that. I just life is full of stupid nonsense, and then like it's like $600 to get ADT security out here to get all this, because this house has like a million windows, which none of which I want open into the sunlight. I don't like the sunlight as much as people like the sunlight, like normally, I guess. And the cats ruin the blinds if I leave the strings down, and it's really a problem. So I'm trying to work on that and see if I can't get the cats sorted out and the blinds sorted out. I've actually got to replace a couple of blinds, and the landlord's already agreed that those will come off the first month. I actually got a form I forgot I got to do to. You move in, they want you to like check off, like, hey, what's wrong here? But what it really comes down to is me remembering to take the measurements, which I did, because it's 29.72 and then 30. It's 30 and a half, like 36, and then there's a window on the door I don't like, because I don't like people being able to walk up my front door, look in and go, oh, he's got a TV I can steal. Even with the ADT security stuff, I don't like the temptation of it. So I've got to look into seeing if I can put like a little curtain or something up there, but that'll be on my cost. I just need to get the other blinds for now, because quite frankly, I find it to be quite bothersome. And blinds are stupid enough as it is, but I got to make sure that I don't get myself into trouble. The landlord's got people coming over to check the foundation work. There's a hose or whatever hooked up to the pylons, filling those up to try to even out the foundation of the house. And it's apparently going to take a couple months worth of water. So as long as it doesn't exceed the rent, I'm going to take care of that, and then we're going to deduct that thing. And I think it works out a lot, really well. I think that's a good compromise for what's happening. And of course, this is just kind of a realty situation, or it's not a house that he lived in and cared about and grew up in, but he seems like a good enough guy, and the situation is what it is. I just make sure I don't get in trouble, that I'm a good tenant, and yeah, it'll be a good time. And okay, so I'm here in Austin, and like I'm not really hanging out with Weirdlands or whatever. I did have a Patreon Dungeons and Dragons thing, which was a little weird. Not only because I was late, I didn't have internet here yet, so I had to go to a public coffee shop, and I felt bad and stupid. And then every time I wanted to say something or make an action, I felt like I was interrupting. And I was trying to be in character, and then the character that I was playing is dependent on certain factors, and most of those factors were taken away because we were in a prisoner scenario. And the character doesn't match the prisoner scenario, because he would have had to been knocked out or taken while he was unconscious to become a prisoner, and then he would have fought every second of every day to free himself. So I had to like give a break of disbelief there for a minute, because we were supposed to be like held there for 3 days. Like on the third day, it's like I've got to play the character a certain way because he's a slayer. He's bound to suicide. So like there was a point where I saw the DM get kind of exasperated. I think Mark was DMing. Yeah, and he got a little exasperated when the guards wanted to feed me to a giant spider, and I was like, yeah, let's do that. Because I wanted to go fight the spider as a character. Like he was just trying to admonish me from fighting all the time. It's like, no, that's the character. And he's not gonna, and that's the problem that's gonna come up next month, is my character's gonna screw it all up because he's not gonna leave that place without the hammer. He will die in the Drow underground looking for his hammer, because nothing else matters more than that hammer in his life right now, until the end. And when the end comes, this glorious death, he wants that hammer there. So like he can't even like get executed properly without the hammer. Mark doesn't understand what Slayers are. It's all right. They're D&D heads. They don't understand these other universes. The irony is that they were like I had 3 people all going, yeah, you should play the barbarian. Like, barbarian, yeah. It's like, okay, cool. We'll play the Slayer. But if I'd played the cleric of questionable nature that I had come up with, he would have been perfect for that. He would have been all talking. He would have been like, have you heard of Naga? My lord reaches far and strong. Because Adam, I have no idea what the hell that means. If you're watching, you're obviously not. Itchy nose. It always happens when I'm on camera. I don't scratch my nose that I notice when I'm off camera. It's only when I'm on camera. I think it's an anxiety thing. I definitely have social anxiety out in public, and I think I feel more comfortable in front of a camera than in front of people. I can definitely talk to a room. Like one-on-one conversations are a lot more difficult. But I've been trying to purposely outreach into the community, into people. So I went to the electrifying concerts that were going on. I tried to kind of talk to a couple people. Whatever. Part of the problem there was they were like real young, and it's like the only thing we had in common was that like we knew the people in the band on some level or another, and there was that. I guess it's not much to go off of socially. Whatever. I don't feel super great in the Weirdling community anymore. Maybe I'm trying to attribute it to just being stressed the fuck out over the past 2 months about being homeless and trying to do it. But like I just had a couple streams where I came out and I was like fucking depressed. I was just like, I don't feel like I get on at all with these people anymore. I don't feel like anybody likes me, and it's fine. But so maybe that's not the place to be. And I had to get out of it for a week. I was like, I'm not watching any streams. I'm sorry. I feel like I have philosophical differences with at least one of them. And I'm not being brought in the fold, which is fine. I didn't really expect that. And I don't really care that much, honestly. It's nice. I'm offering free help. I'm trying anyways. So you would think they'd be into that. But we'll see what happens. I'm going to do my own thing. and I'm going to try to get some projects going back. I want to bring back We Are Movie Club because I want some community stuff. I talked to Sid. We're going to start doing gaming together again. It's not what it was called before, but we're going to, now that we've addressed her streaming stuff, my streaming stuff, I fixed my hardware problems, which were a fuck all of a problem, but they're fixed now. If this goes down, I might just kill myself. But especially after saying that. So gaming division is going to become more active. Jam on Toast is probably going to be the one that sits at the back burner. If I definitely, especially if I can get We Are Movie Club going. But Jam on Toast will be integral of We Are Movie Club because that will be where the movie reviews go up. And We Are Movie Club, I'll probably do like a primer linking to the video. Being like, hey, if you want like this week's review or whatever, it's like, here, go check out our reviews on our own channels, and then we'll do a long discussion format. I think that's the way it's going to go. Because I still want to be able to do a short 15-minute or less video. I say that because it should be like 5 minutes. But like I was always the asshole that would do like 10 or 20 on like really movies where I had a lot to say. Because I'm trying to discuss it. I'm not sitting there talking about nothing. I'm sitting there talking about the movie, and I want to talk about the movie in a longer format. So what I want to do is I want to do the reviews. If we bring back the shows independently, like I would love to do bad summaries with people, especially if they get it. I love Charlie, but he never got the idea of bad summaries. And then I want to do like a 1 hour podcast. Like that's the cutoff time, and I can't imagine that if it's me and at least one other person that we wouldn't do that. So I gotta find people, and I don't know how you find people because there's so many people out there. So how do you dig out the ones that want to do things? And I found a community of people, of like-minded people, where I was doing. So maybe I have to do the same thing for games and movies. Maybe I got to do that. Maybe there's somewhere like there's a movie association or movie club of whatever that I can talk to. I'll have to find out because there's lots of people in Austin that do stupid, crazy shit. And the people I know do media stuff, I'd love to work with them. I would, but they're not interested in working with me. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I can't tell you how much I would love. Oh, I would love to hit up Neil so hard and get Weird Anime Club going. That would be so much fun if I could get that from him and get that going. But for now, like I'll probably, you know what, I'm gonna press on Daniel and Shannon to do a weekly recommendation of anime to come back and talk about next time. Yeah, because I want to be able to do a video on it. So maybe that's a thing. Maybe that's a thing. I'm not supposed to eat and drink on podcasts on air. I'm breaking the rules. I make these rules. This is the house that Kamurai built. I'm going to talk with food in my mouth. What up? I don't even know if that's coming in. I don't know if you can hear Tux. Now he's leaving because he's mad at me because I didn't pet him for longer than 5 seconds. Choo choo choo. It's soft. It was, at least I'm not like eating pretzels or something. I swear to God. There's one day or something where I just didn't care. I was playing a game and I was just eating Doritos. Cool Ranch, of course. It's the only thing that makes any sense. And it was just crunch, 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 crunch. But this is soft, so if you hear anything, at least maybe it's ASMR. Maybe that's all we want. Maybe if we just. No? Okay. The other thing I want to do with these is I really got to check a budget. If I can make it happen, is that I want to start cutting audio out and throwing them on SoundCloud and Podbean. But it costs so much money, so maybe this month I'm gonna have to either just suffer it out, or I don't know. But if I can get it on there, then that gets more coverage, because more people go to audio for podcasts. And YouTube hasn't fucking figured it out yet that an option to disable video is highly a valuable feature, because there are so many things where, like, I just want to hear what the people have to say. I want to hear the content. Occasionally there's things I want to turn the video on and look at, but most of the time it's like I put it up and I put it over there, and I know what the people look like for the most part. And unless they're really, really pretty, I don't need to look at them for longer than a second at a time. And that may have been like a slightly piggish thing to say, but I'm talking about not like 20 minutes of. I'm talking about like, oh, look at that dress. Like, oh, she looks pretty good. That's longer than a second, people. I'm not doing that. Though there's nothing truly wrong with fantasizing in general. It's when you think that that's all they exist for is the problem. You got to be able to respect people as a person. And honestly, I don't think I've ever had a fantasy about someone who I didn't like somewhat as a person. Now, granted, you don't know movie stars or musicians, pop stars, whatever, really like that. But if you pay attention and you get some of their personality, it makes it so much better. So, that said, I've got some datage potentially coming up. One of them I'm super excited about because the timing's great, because it just means I get to do some stuff that honestly I was going to go fucking do anyways. But now I don't have to do it alone. And I get a cute chick with me, whether or not she's into me or not, because at this point I can't tell. I can't tell what's going on. She's extremely short-worded on online, talking online, and it's like, to me, that's this clear indication she doesn't give a shit. She's not invested. She doesn't care. But she made a bunch of typiness that she was excited last week when I wanted to take her out. But I had to fly out of town, which sucked, to go get the rest of my stuff and the kitties. And we're here, and I've been spending the week as much as I can rearranging things. And I don't have bookshelves because I left them in Georgia for my friend to put books on, because I sorely underestimated how much my bookcases I actually use. So now I literally have a floor-to-ceiling stack of board games in my living room. The AT&T guys were super impressed when they looked over there, like, man, that's all, what is that? And I'm like, oh, yeah, it's all board games. So I'm ridiculous as a person, and I enjoy it. I also have some new unboxing videos for Battlestar that I got to do. I've been trying to read the rules up when I can. I'm just not giving myself the time to do it, because I'm not giving myself the time to do it. It's not like I had the option between doing that and doing something else. It's that I physically put myself in places, up until recently at least, where I physically couldn't do it. Though, honestly, there's a couple social situations where I could have done it and it just would have been really awkward. But that's what Saturday's kind of been about. And then this past weekend, I had none of it done. So I'm hoping this weekend for sure I'll get caught up, because I'm halfway through them. I've got the base rules pretty much down. I've got the Pegasus expansion rules down. I'm trying to figure out the key differences for Exodus, which I think are really just the Rebel Cylon fleet and the Cylon leaders, which I think I have for the most part. I got to reiterate them, make sure I have them. And then there's the one with the Demetrius. I can't remember what it's called. Exodus? No, that's the second one. So it goes Pegasus, Exodus. Nope. So the last one I really gotta learn, and I think the game, honestly, even with all the crazy boards, I think the game actually is still pretty simple with all the pieces involved. And the key thing there is just knowing that, not focusing on nuances, not focusing on the differences between the versions, but learning the game as a whole. I'm super excited about it. I really want to play Battlestar rather badly. Now I have my games with me, so I can throw them in a bag and take them out to Outlaw Moon or wherever I go. Because honestly, the hours for Outlaw Moon gaming, they've got to fix that. I mean, it's 3 hours from 7 to 10. It's really what it is. And honestly, if we were going from 4 to 10, I'd be down. Like 6 hours gaming and cut it off. That's great. Because then you can get some more epic level games in. Like right now, if I brought Super Dungeon Explorer, it's probably going to be pretty rough trying to squeeze that into 3 hours. It's probably not going to happen. So that could be part of the fun, is seeing how far they get. But now I got Ninja All-Stars, which I got unboxed. We unboxed it, and I looked at it with the kids because I wanted to see what it was. I felt so bad because I was like, no, you got to pick up all these other, because he said them all out in like a war. I was like, you have such an imagination, but they have to be cleaned up. So I'm really looking forward to unboxing that one and being able to use it because they are Super Dungeon compatible. I have to kill Cat. What did you want to say? Here's the microphone. Okay, it's making like little breathing noises. Really? Is that all you had to say? You're getting pets. You don't care. You don't care about anyone but yourself. You cat. You cat. Oh, man. Okay, so I'm so happy about this internet. My buddy gave me a desk that works out really well for this, so I've got to figure out what to do with the other ones. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set them up in the opposite corner over there towards where the lamps are. I'm going to put we're actually right there. You know what? That's actually a really good idea. I'm going to set them up there. That's where I'm going to put my board games for now until I get shelves. And the shelves are actually pretty cheap. I found, I think they're 6-foot shelves. There's got 5 shelvings at IKEA for like $30 a piece, and they're black. They're like 20 ones for $25 a piece, and they're white. But I gotta look at my budget of what I can do, and this month anyways, and then do that because I'm gonna need bookshelves eventually, and it'll make a great. They always make a great set. So there's always that. Ooh, water. Es agua de delicioso. I guess you could just say agua delicioso. Delicious water, not water of deliciousness. So let's see. What's going on today? I probably need to remote in and work a little bit longer. Now that I have internet, I can do that if I need to, which I don't plan on doing. I really want to go back in tomorrow and like be in the office, and I'll probably I would stay later, but that's right, I have a date tomorrow, so we're gonna if she hopefully she's all right. She's definitely cute. She seems like she's into cool stuff. I can just get her talking. Maybe we can have a good time, go see some Deadpool, and then we can figure out what this Top Golf nonsense is all about. Because like I'm not big into golf, but I wanted to know what that is because it seems to be like one of those obligatory Austin touristy type things. So that'll be fun. That'll be a good time. And then tomorrow I got to figure out if I'm going to go out and drive for some monies. That would hopefully be a good thing to do until I can get the other podcasts up and going. That's what it is. And if Sid will message me back, we'll see if we're doing some gaming together on Sunday. Because that's how I'd like to spend my Sunday, if I'm being honest. Oh, I've got a party to go to on Saturday. I forgot. So I got to time that out properly. I'll have to see where. I had an appointment before that too. So I'll have to see where everything lines up. Scheduling my life is going to be very important. I started doing it on my Google Calendar. I've got like this big block where I'm supposed to be working during the day. And it all comes down to whether or not I can get my ass up on time. And I felt bad enough about it this week that I think that's going to be motivation for tomorrow. Because I'm out of excuses at this point. I'm like, get the fuck up when the alarm goes off and go to work. Because I hurt my foot. My foot's fucked up after starting a gym membership at Dell because they're a private gym there. And I want this to heal up before I start doing things, but I gotta get back to it. I've got to start walking on it again. Even if it doesn't heal up, but maybe I need to go see a doctor, so maybe that's something I need to put on my to-do list. Yay! I don't know. But I've got internet now, so I can sort of go back and watch YouTube properly. Fuck the Fine Bros while we're at it. They joined the ranks of King.com, which I'll actually have good things to say about on Sunday. King.com and Sony, bunch of assholes. I can't believe they thought they were right and Justin. They're not even good on camera. Now, Benny actually talked really well. I'll give him that, but he talks utter nonsense really well, which is what bothers me. And I can't stand him because I saw him live at VidCon last year, and it's like, you're kind of a douchebag, but you're really well spoken. So yay for you. And they've got a successful business, so like, what do you care what I would have to say anyways? But fuck them. I'm glad they're hemorrhaging subscribers like they do. And I need to still go and unsubscribe as well because fuck them. I like the teens that they've had on. I like the kids that they've had on. I've enjoyed watching the kids go to teens and to adults, if we're being honest. I don't like all the YouTubers that they have on, but I like what they put them through as a format. But let's be honest. It's not a unique format. They do it better than a lot of people, but bullying other people out of your competition so that you're the only one, well, that sounds a lot like antitrust law. Oh, you fucking douchebags. So I'm officially stopping that mess. I'm hoping that a couple of my favorites will go off and do independent stuff, and so I'm going to monitor for that, but nope. I'd much rather just kind of move on. And we'll just have to see what happens with it. Because I have a feeling they're going to make a comeback, but they're never going to be as strong as they were. I think they're going to take a hit for a while. The fucking millionaires, ooh, they're so afraid of taking a hit. Let's see how long. What's the timer say? Now, what I do like. Okay, now YouTube does have a timer now, because it used to be like you had to do Hangouts, where I had to use OBS. I am using OBS, but OBS doesn't have the timer. YouTube has the timer, and Ustream has a timer, and Firetalk has a timer. YouNow has no timer, at least not on my end. So I will work on getting this to be less bland. That will be a nice thing. What I would probably have, especially for gaming, is a green screen. Unless Sid's not going to have a green screen. Other people aren't going to have green screen. So we'll have to work on that. But I'll put something there so that it's less bland, and that'll help clean up my living room. And then maybe that'll give me a proper place to do an unboxing video is in front of the other games. Because right now, I was just going to do it up against the wall in the dining room so that I can put the damn things away. Because honestly, I like to do unboxing right away when I first get it and I first open up everything, so that I get a more genuine view. The Ninja All-Stars one is going to be less than authentic, I'm sure, or less excitable, but it's still going to be a fun little thing to do, and I want to make sure that I set up some extra cameras for models, because hell, I've got the cameras, and honestly, I really just need to work on being better cinematographically or whatever. And I definitely need an extension to do overhead camera properly, even if it means attaching two tripods together. Because the way I had it before is I could set it up on the bookshelf and hang it over the table. I didn't have that table. I left that in Georgia. I didn't really mean to, but it is what it is what it is. So I'm going to have to evaluate. There's actually might be a way to do it in the dining room. There's a weird ledge I might be able to use. So we'll have to see. Point is, I'm excited about it. And then eventually I'll get back to doing bad summaries too. My friend's daughter, actually, I need to talk to her again about this, came up with a good idea. I need to add bibliocraft into the world where I'm doing sets. And she actually made like a schoolhouse for me. I was like, wow, you put way too much work into that. Good job. So I want to hire her to do sets for me. But we got to limit how much time she's actually doing towards it and how much I get out of it. So it's really weird. But it would be fun to get them on stream again too. Like we used to play Minecraft and stuff together. I think maybe that would be the way to do it, and we'll get Cube World going again. I've got to get their characters back on the way the character system works for Cube World. Is so weird because it's a single DAT file. So like all the characters for a computer on one file. So unless I break the file open and then manually shift things, I don't know how else to do it. But it's doable, right? It's doable. The goal is to restrict things to hour-long podcasts. I normally don't talk about myself for longer than a half hour, which I have found to be really weird philosophy to have in public settings and groups and stuff that I've been meeting up with. But we'll just have to see how that goes. I don't mind talking, but I usually have to have something to say. And talking about me is boring because I know everything about me. Then who gives a fuck? So maybe Sid would be so kind to come on and like interview me or something then at some point, and maybe that'll be a way for me to know what to talk about to other people because, fuck it. Yes, you're meowing. You're a kitty. I have no idea where you're at, but I can hear you even through these. Okay. Well, I think that's it. Thank you for joining me for dinner. This may be a thing that happens once a week. I don't think I'll do it on other podcasts. I'm calling it a podcast. As far as I'm concerned, it's just me. It's a vlogcast, which is where that term comes from. And I will continue to do a vlogcast weekly as long as I'm able. And I will get back to doing the other ones. The WatchSpot has to change format, and GameSpot or PlaySpot will change format because we're going to start talking more about gaming-inspired shows on there. I'm going to try to make that a whole segment. But yeah, that's it for me. I am Kamurai. Man, I wanted to say so many different things right there. I didn't decide on a proper ending. Oh, I forgot to do the proper intro now. I want to do salutations. I don't know if you watch Ruby. Go over to roosterteeth.com and watch Ruby whenever you get a chance. And you'll see where I get salutations from. After that thing that happens, I'm going to keep doing it. It's almost the same as like doing, oh crap, what is it? That number? I can't remember. Whatever it is on Hunger Games. So, here we go. We'll do it right. We'll do it on a proper take. So until you see me next time, I am Kamurai. Have a nice day. And I should be ready to end the video. I'll get better at this. I'll get better. If you want to see anything else we're up to, go ahead and click the annotations and it'll take you to our other channels. Thanks for watching.